Welcome, everyone. Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday, June 15th. Welcome back if you were here with us yesterday, or welcome in if it's your first time joining us. Like I said, we are recording live today. All of our showcases this week will be available at the same page that you are watching on. So feel free to use this, bookmark this space as a programming resource and tool for you and your committees for orientation, fall programming, and beyond. Even if you just want to feel like you're hanging out with some really cool folks, come back often. You're always welcome here. I said this yesterday, and I'll say it again. And honestly, I want to say it every time I'm with you. But Rebelle Events' mission is to bring people together through live events. We are community junkies, and we want to make sure that we are leaving every space we are in, whether it's in person or virtual, any combination of the two of those two. We want to make sure we leave each space better for having been there. So this is hopefully a resource that you all can use and something that we can do together in order to begin planning, even if we feel a little bit more certain than we did this time last year, but something that'll give you some fun ideas and resources to kind of bookmark for when the time is right to get cracking. So welcome. Let's get started. So our first guest, we are going to have some interviews and performances for today, and I'm so excited. Our first guest, like I said, this is live. If something happens, it's a live event. So all of that live event realness is going to be here. Billy Porter pose, anybody? Oh, I have that ballroom feel already. So let's see what you got, and I am excited to get started. Feel free to comment, use that chat box below this video to tell us who you are, where you're from, and what you like seeing so far so that we can keep giving it to you. Our first guest today is a comedian. He has been seen on HBO's Insecure and That Damn Michael Shea Show. Everyone, please help me welcome Reggie Conquest. Reggie, you available? All right, here he is, Reggie. Hello.
Hey, hello. It's crazy because I just was talking to you, and then I panicked. I was like, "Oh, where's the button?"
It's really incredible how even though we are virtual, it can still bring that same like pre-show jitters, right?
Yeah. I legit was practicing on how to push the button. As soon as you called me, I just pressed anything just to get on. How are you?
I am great, and it is so good to see you.
Yes, this is. I haven't done much Zoom shows, and they've been like weird. One I did in the car, one I did at a cookout. Like I was just all over the place doing them. So I haven't done a lot.
The show must go on, though, right?
Absolutely.
So, Reggie, you have been. You are a total yes man. To me, like you always are so excited to what you got, Melissa? Sure, I'll do that. And I think that is such a wonderful, just life quality in general, right? Just let's try something new. Yeah. But especially with the live shows that we've done in COVID, right? With funny rules and things like that.
Yeah, when you ask, it's just like, I don't have shit to do. Like, why not? Like, it's like, but then sometimes I'll do that, and then I'm like, oh man, like I really have to start writing. Like, I got a little book that I write my stuff in, and I use my phone, but sometimes I'll still forget stuff. So I'm always like, I'm literally down to do everything. Like, there's not a lot of stuff I'm not down to do. I wouldn't jump out of a plane, but I'm down to do everything else.
I've done that. It's something I recommend trying one time.
You done it? You jumped out of a plane?
Silly, I know.
Oh, man, I don't know.
I just had to check the box.
I gotta get that bread. I don't have that. Like jump out of a plane yet, but I want to get there. I do want to get there. I do want to jump out of a plane and come tell my friends, because nobody I know has jumped out. You're the only person I know that jumped out of a plane. So
Well, yeah, one time is good enough for me. So,
Yeah.
so I'm excited to get you back out on the road with some regularity this fall. I know that we've had a lot of campuses already jumping in early on your calendar, which is exciting. And so Reggie's show is a full hour, much like everybody that we're booking here with the crew.
Yeah.
But you are always so delightful to hang out with and fun to watch and listen to. So I'm excited to keep spreading the Reggie Conquest love.
Thank you so much, and shout out to everybody watching and all the guys. I didn't really get to talk to Mike, but he said hi to me on the chat, so that was cool, and the other comics on here. So yeah. Hopefully we all get to like work together.
I hope so too. So everybody check out Reggie. His Instagram here is on the screen. And also you can see his great promo videos and read more about him on the Rebelle Events website. So feel free to check him out, and questions, as always, let me know.
Always.
Cool. Well, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Melissa.
Great to see you.
Great seeing you, and safe travels, and I'll talk to you soon.
Can't wait to see you in person.
Yes, I know, right? When are you in New York?
As soon as I can.
Okay. Well, we're getting lunch.
I'll talk to you soon, Reggie.
All right. Bye.
Bye. So let's keep this going. Again, if you have any comments or questions, if you like what you see, make sure you smash it into the chat below this video. We'll keep the show going. I'm very excited to introduce you to our next act. He was most recently rewarded fellowship to the Serenbe Institute as their artist in residence. And this past weekend, again, today is June 15th. So the days previous to this, he recorded his theater debut show, Double Consciousness, at the Morton Theater in Athens, Georgia. Coming to us live from Atlanta, please welcome spoken word artist, Adan Bean. Welcome, friend.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Here in Atlanta, Georgia, and I am happy to be reconnecting with my Rebelle, family and whatnot. So yeah.
Happy to see you.
For sure. Also, I want to add to the acclaim. Jumping out of an airplane is actually on my list for this year. It's one of the things I'm planning to do. So I'm going to get some pointers from you offline about, what I need to prepare myself for.
I think it's like anything that every time you walk out on the stage, it's maybe like that first time you walk on stage, like it's a little like, oh God, no turning back now.
For sure. Well, I definitely need some good folks out there in the college market to book me. I need to up my insurance just in case. There's a lot of people who love me, so I want to stay alive and whatnot. So
we do need to make sure that you're well insured before you do that. For sure. So it's so fun to be able to think about what we get to do outside of the house, right? As we're re-emerging from the quarantines and all of that. So
absolutely.
I know you've spent some of your time creating and just processing and doing what you do so brilliantly over this past year and a half.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of us, I think it was a necessary thing to do, I had the opportunity to, even in the midst of quarantine earlier this year, around March, I got to travel internationally. I went out to South Africa and spent some time there for a little under a month, and then made it back. And as you said, I was at Serenbe for their month in residency, artist residency. And so with that time, it just gave me a lot of time to process and think through like what has happened, in this world. And so, as a writer, I just think that's essentially like a duty, right? As an artist, I think that's a duty of all of ours. And so, one of the things that I did is write, right? That's what I'm supposed to be doing, is oftentimes is writing. But actually, almost in a meta kind of way, I wanted to write about the act of writing, the act of producing. And so I want to share that with you, if that's all right. And
of course,
move on with that. Yeah.
I love it. The stage is yours. The stage is yours.
Thank you. This one is fairly recent, so it's I'm going to read a bit of it, but it reminded me there was a very popular phrase or meme that went around early quarantine that said, remembering your darkest days when time stopped, you turned to an artist, right? So it was talking about the idea that, you know, at that point we were all turning on Netflix and we were listening to albums, and it was it said a lot about our culture, about this toxic productivity culture, right? This idea that we've always got to be producing, we always have to be making something. And, you know, they said, you know, if you've ever wanted to start a podcast, now's the time to do it. You know, that was or write that book or whatever. And I just wanted to kind of speak to that, speak to the artists, my fellow artists, as well as just the artists out there, and those who even kind of just pursue their dream after 5 p.m. And it goes as follows. It says, remember in your darkest days when time stopped, you turned to an artist. You read a novel, you watched a series, you played an album as TikTok, you binge watched movies and shows, stuck at home like the world has us on punishment, desiring a reprieve from what seems to be an overwhelmed government. When you were checking the mail with latex gloves every day, disinfecting the groceries before you put them away, when toilet paper became somehow a limited commodity, and thoroughly washing your hands for some was a novelty, you downtrodden denizen of your tenement, all of us unprepared global pandemic participants, the artists were not above this, they were among it, along with you. So when you turn to an artist, what if the artists themselves were turning to? What if those who you sought were searching as well? What if the healers needed healing? What then could they sell? See, as an artist in these times, the greatest creation that you can make is to fashion yourself fully human, to retain your personhood without profit, your sanity separated from commerce. Perhaps putting in the work looks a lot like rest. Respite might resemble retreat, but I promise you it is an advance, a forage into the all too often forgotten you. Be still and know, Selah. Perhaps their gratification shouldn't come at the expense of your edification. Do not let a world that would love to kill you under normal conditions convince you to close your front door and continue the slaughter. Now is as good a time as any to replenish the coffers, to get back on speaking terms with yourself. For the sake of your mental and emotional health, you do not owe anyone anything except doing your absolute best. And I am not telling you not to fight or to go gently into that good night, but do not set yourself on fire because others say they need a light. Remember, in the darkest days when time stopped and they turned to an artist, you turned into a human being and you found freedom regardless. That is that poem right there. And yeah, as I said, really just wanted to kind of talk to this idea of producing and production and the idea of creating. It's all well and good, but you know, I think rest can be a revolutionary thing. I think taking a pause and a beat to really step in and figure out that time for yourself is super important. And I say this as someone who tries to write often, write every day. I write anything. I will write, you know, I write scripts, I write poems, I write articles, I write songs. I will, as our homie says, I will write a ransom note if so inclined, right? But it strikes me, you know, that idea of finding freedom is super important. And it dawns on me, right, on what is this, June 15th, right? We're a few days away from what will be the celebration of Juneteenth. And when I think about Juneteenth, obviously, that is the official celebration or designation of the end of chattel slavery in the United States. And I write really for those of us who are free. I write for those of us who are still working to get free. And I write for those of us who still need to be told that we're free. And so I want to leave this, I guess, before handing back this poem that speaks to this idea of not quitting, of continuing to persevere. And it's a really simple poem. It goes like this. You only get one chance at this. And there's about a million ways that it could all go wrong. It seems random, but I promise that a plan exists. It's just hard to recognize it till it's almost gone. and then it's gone and you're never getting any more. And all that's left to guess is what you'll be remembered for. And bet that you can rest assured I put my best foot forward from the second that they press record. And I've never said that I don't cope with demons, because if you've never questioned your beliefs, you don't believe them. If this isn't how it's supposed to go, I know the feeling, but see, a wisely chosen spoken word can be potent healing. I hit the stage and I behave in accordance, because a labor of love won't always pay for a mortgage. Everybody wants to make a name and a fortune, but what a shame that fame ain't the same as importance. And this is not encouragement, because the only thing certain is work in the dirt and grit. You need to learn this. It may never get better, but it hurts worse to quit. You see, if everybody wins, then everybody loses. No one leaves the field without getting bloody bruises. You have to play through the storm if the uniform fits. There is a time to call it quits, but this is not it. This is not a fair fight, but the odds can be even, and there will always be a reason as long as you keep breathing. It never hurts worse than that very first hit. There is a time to call it quits, but this is not it. That was that right there. Thank you guys so much, Melissa, for this opportunity. Yes, I can't wait to see you in person and give great vaccinated hugs to everyone in the vicinity. So yeah,
ready and willing.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your words always, and your grace and your wisdom. And happy June 19th, a few days early.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you.
Awesome.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye, Adan.
Bye-bye.
Oh, great. I sometimes forget that I have to still running a show here. I'm soaking it all in. So before we keep going, we have two more acts to show you. Yesterday and today, we discussed a little bit about what it means to program hybrid events or in-person events or virtual events. And after yesterday's show, I had several questions about different possibilities. Now, like I said at the top of the show, we might have a better idea of what programming looks like for us this fall as we did this time last year. If we maybe want to forget, I guess that's fine. But I think it's important to remember that virtual isn't always bad, and hybrid is really important too, to keep considering how we're meeting our communities and how we're serving those who may want to consume this information and experience in different ways. So if you have any questions or if you need some inspiration or ideas, please let us know. If you have the technology, amazing, let's use it. If you don't have the technology, let us know. We can help. And also, if you want to just understand more about what it feels like and what it looks like to have some of these hybrid events, let me know. One event that you can peek at, it's at the bottom of this page. It was pre-recorded last month, actually. It was recorded live last month, but it's a whole conversation about esports and games and things like that. That is another option that has a lot of live, in-person, and virtual components to it that are really, really easy to do. We can absolutely get Adan in and do any version of those events. And him very specifically has done shows where, because of capacity restrictions, he would do a few shows each night, so it was just, it was a quick 30-minute show for, 30 people, and then the same show for another 30. So just so that we can make sure to share the love with everybody. So whatever restrictions or not restrictions might look like with you, let us know. We are ready and willing. If vaccination is ever a requirement, let us know. We are ready and willing. So with that, are y'all with me? I see some of you watching. Let us know you're here. Let us know you're still with us, and we will keep this party rolling. I am very excited to introduce our next act. He is actually the newest member of the Rebelle Events team and roster and family. He is also a fellow Minnesotan. I guess I'm assuming you all know him from Minnesota. I live in St. Paul, Minnesota. He's a fellow Minnesotan from across the river in Minneapolis, and has his own dry bar comedy special. All around nice guy. I want to introduce you all to comedian Mike Brody. Welcome.
Hey.
How are you today?
How you doing?
Super good. I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here.
Welcome
I want to say something really quick. My dog insists on sitting next to me during this. He absolutely insists, and then he gets up and stretches. So if you hear like a weird it's my dog. It's not me. I just want to make that clear.
We're pet friendly, and we also all are welcome here. No judgments. After a year of Zooming and being at home, I feel like we've all gotten used to meeting pets and family. And
we all know everybody's background. I like yours. Yours is very calming. Like I feel like a duck could walk by at any moment. And I like that.
What you can't see are the costumes and toys that my kids have left behind. So another day, I guess.
Right.
Well, Mike, so I know we've been talking a little bit about, with Reggie, with Adan, a little bit about how we've kind of done COVID, if you will, and done this time where we're tucked in and kind of forced to reimagine our normal day-to-day. Mm-hmm. You have never really stopped comedy, obviously, even though it had to look different. But what else have you been doing for your quarantines?
Well, I was still doing the Zoom thing. And first off, I can't wait to hang out with Reggie and then not jump out of an airplane with him. I'm totally on board. Not on board. I am not on board. I'm scared of heights. I am not doing it. You guys are crazy. I've been doing comedy slowed down to a near crawl, but I was still doing stuff. And I just wanted to get out and kind of just stay healthy and get some sun. So, everybody had to pivot. There's not a person alive who didn't have to change some way during the pandemic. So I went out and I got hired as a diaper delivery man. And I delivered a weekly supply of cloth diapers to people who were liberal enough to care about the earth, but rich enough to not have to touch their own child's poop. And it's a middle ground there. And I gotta tell you, I quickly found out that it wasn't just delivering the diapers. That's what I thought. I didn't really realize this. I also had to receive all the dirty ones. Like I hadn't thought this all through. And everybody always wants to know. They're like, "What about the smell? The smell?" Like you get used to the smell. But what weirded me out was the weight of it. Like it was like really heavy. It was like I don't know what these people are feeding these babies, like bags of lobster. I don't know, but it's terrifying. And so I was doing my delivery. This is in the winter, and they freeze too. And I'm going from the house to my van, and it was like 30 pounds, 20 pounds. I don't know how much it was. And I just kind of randomly did a bicep curl with it. And then I was like, that's not bad. That's kind of good. And I did another one. And then I started doing triceps and stuff. And I threw in a lunge with it. Like, no joke. I lost 15 pounds in a month with my poop bag workout. Yes, patent pending, Melissa. Don't steal it. And then one day, I was getting it. I was like, I'm going to make the most of this. I'm going to get in shape. And I actually was walking from the house to the van, and I look up, and I see somebody in their house in their window filming me on their phone. And I was like, oh, no, I'm about to become the wrong kind of internet famous. That was not the plan. Because I don't know what happened with the video, but now I'm like, I was worried about comedy coming back, but now I got to worry about if I'm going to be more well known as the poop bag workout guy on TikTok. You know what I mean? Then the stand up Mike Brody's really great on stage, but have you seen the video of him twirling bags of child poop around? That's where he shines. Really, really. It is.
Oh, I love it. That's great. And congratulations on taking control of the health too. That's fabulous.
Yeah, I did. I lost 50 pounds, but don't applaud me or anything because I've done it 4 times in 5 years. Like I go to a goal and then I forget about it. And I always find out that I yo-yo, and I always find out, so we're upper Midwest people. So where this place is, but I always find out the worst place possible to find out that I've gone too far the other way, which is Wisconsin Dells. It's a huge water park. I hate the airplane thing. I don't like heights. My wife wants to go on a 5-story water slide with a hydraulic trapdoor. You stand on it and it goes toot, and you fall 5 stories in pitch black darkness. And like I said, scared of heights. And I'm watching people doing it. They're getting stuck in the tube out of fear. It goes toot, and they go and then they fling their arms out and I get stuck in the tube like Augustus Gloop and Willy Wonka. And I'm like, we're paying for this? It takes an hour to get to the top. Summertime at a water park. I get to the top, and that's where I see the sign that says, oh, there's a 270-pound weight limit. Like, dude, tell me that at the bottom, all right? I could have been eating Dippin' Dots this whole time. That's what I'm saying. And then they weigh you in front of everybody. It's aggressive. They weigh you in front of everybody, and the scale beeps. I thought that was a little over the top. It's like, burp, 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 burp. And I'm like, come on, 269. Like, let's be realistic here. And it stops. Rejected at Wisconsin Dells. Walk of shame. I didn't know I could do the stair thing. And then they smooth it over, air quotes. They go, don't worry, we turn the scale around. So nobody knows how much you weigh because we turn the scale around. It's like, oh, cool. Thank you. Pretty sure they can figure it out when I walk away, though. Everybody knows I'm somewhere between 270 and 1,000. Like, who walks up the slide for an hour, gets to the top, and just walks right back down? Like, oh, hey, guys, I forgot my keys. I'll be back in an hour. So, but I'm good now.
Oh, well, congrats. Now it's water slide summer.
Yep. So, yeah, that's been my deal.
Oh, that's great. Hey, we love your jokes, but we also have some dog fans. So
somebody wants to see the dog? You want to see Frosty?
With a please. There's manners involved. I don't think you cannot. Rob, I hope your day's been made.
He's a sweetheart and a holy nightmare at the same time. You know how dachshunds can be.
Oh, funny. Well, Mike's got a ton of fabulous jokes. You are all about any type of all age show that we need to do. I trust you implicitly to give a solid grade A clean show. So even if the president's there, you're in the clear. It's a lot of fun. I will say the entire Rebelle Events comedy roster is really sweet for that too. So, Mike, welcome. I'm so glad you're here, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much.
Enjoy your day. Maybe I'll see you across town.
All right. Yeah, absolutely. We'll go. No, we will not go jumping out of an airplane. Never mind.
We'll walk around one of the many lakes. That sounds
very low to the ground. I appreciate that. Thank you.
See you later.
Yeah, thanks, Melissa.
All right, and we will continue on. My Instagram is not Mike Brody Comic, but you should go follow Mike. So one more part of the show, and then we will get you back onto your Tuesday. Really excited to introduce our next act. If you joined us last summer for our virtual showcase, or if our next guest has been very popular with virtual shows. He pivoted swiftly and gave everybody a really unique product we're going to share with you today and talk a little bit about his stage show. So with all of that, he is a headlining act at New York's world famous Comedy Cellar. He sells out shows for the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. He has 30 million views over that on YouTube. And another fellow animal lover. Everyone, put your hands together for comedian Chris Turner. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Melissa. It's lovely to be here. Also, when we say fellow animal lover, doesn't everyone love animals?
Well, wouldn't it be? Yes, you're right. Touche.
I think that's pretty much a vetting question when we sign with you. It's like, and also you like fluffy things, right? Otherwise, not that all animals are fluffy. Obviously, reptiles, amphibians can also be cute.
They count. They tug at your heartstrings a little differently.
Yeah.
Now you're a little ways from your cat family right now, right?
I am, yeah, because they're currently in Colorado, but I'm back in the UK for a month and a half to see my real family, though. So I have to say they're more important, even though we all know cat takes priority.
Sure. Well, what a joyful reunion!
Indeed,
I'm sure
yeah,
they're very excited
it's good to be back, and it'll be nice when I get to go back and see the cats again.
Good. Well, also, congrats are in order, because there was another audience that was very excited to see you recently, right?
There were, yes. I was very fortunate to become the first British act to do stand-up comedy on the Stephen Colbert Show. That's the Late Show, for those of you that don't know. And I received a standing ovation, which was quite nice. I don't think they get many of those. So, yeah, that was pretty cool.
That's awesome. Well, I can't wait to find out when it airs so that we can...
Me neither, because then I can get famous and rich off it. But until then, we just have to wait.
Well, let's keep showing people what you do in this space.
Yes,
and then we'll get you on more college campuses this fall. And all of that good stuff. So whoever's with us, do you want to take the show? We'll see. I know we haven't had we've had a few people chatting today. But tell us what you want us to do, Chris.
So, lovely people watching. Hello, I'm Chris. I'm British. I am a freestyle rapper as well as comedian, for those of you that don't know. Freestyle rap is rap made up on the spot based on your suggestions. It's not written, it's not prepared, it's not rehearsed. To do that, I need you to put suggestions in that little chat box there that you would like to hear a rap about. And then we'll put them on the screen and I will rap about those things. It's very, very simple. Don't be boring. Don't be unimaginative. Be creative. Go for exciting things like 9th century crop rotation or a German man in Hamburg who said, a day in the life of an Aztec high priest. Yeah, so maybe try and be as creative as that. So I'll give you a few seconds to put those things in the chat box here while I play some elevator music, which is a favorite of my live shows. While people try and come up with suggestions, we just bop along to some classic elevator jams. And we do, don't worry, we do have a contingency plan in case people have no fingers or no imagination, in which case Melissa's going to come through and do some prompting based on screen sharing, which I imagine we may have to do because, oh my gosh, here we go. Okay, well, this is what we're going to do then. Melissa is going to put up a random Wikipedia article. This is it. That's a good, nice big screen. So on Wikipedia, if you click random article, it will give you a random page. We're going to click it till we get something that sounds very fun. And also, Nat has asked for us to rap out rainbow cows or gay cows. So we'll throw that in as well as a random article. Let's keep clicking till we get something a bit more fun, I think, Melissa. This is all a little bit, kind of less exciting for the viewers. I mean, yeah, that is a British tenant law. Let's keep going. Come on, we'll find something fun eventually. I mean, I'm sure Alavoretti Raka is an exceptional sportsman, but we're really hitting some niche articles today. A professional baseball pitcher. We can do that. Let's rap about Larry Christensen and gay cows. Okay, cool. This is a freestyle about gay cows and Larry Christensen. I'm going to drop this little beat here for you guys. And if you at any point want to throw any words in the chat, we'll throw them in as well. It's going to be nice over this classic boom bap beat. Boom bap beat going smooth as silk. I'm going over to Wisconsin, pursue the milk. I wanna grab it, I'm gonna earn. Put a bit of dairy liquid in the churn, turn it into butter, take it home to mother. But then I've got a little fact I should uncover. All of the cows, they're hiding something. They be secretly closeted in Wisconsin. I'm like, cows, come outside. You can celebrate Whackers June be Pride Month. Everybody cheers and say, who knew cows could be lesbian and gay? That's a fact, man, I might try. I even met a few cows who were bi. They were like, we don't even mind. Sisters or brothers, we make out with anything with others. Now I'm coming on a bristly man, playing in baseball, that's Christensen. When did he play? I have to get close to the screen. The Philadelphia Phillies was his team. Was he married or single? His first name's Larry, and he would bring all of the girls to the yard, making the milkshake like the cows do. Oh, and he'd taken his debut in 1973. There was going on there 10 years to beat a win-loss record. It was pretty average. Earned runs, strikes out, have a sandwich when he's on the sideline there in the dugout. That's a nice man, he got a nice mouth. I could see him on his little pic there. And after he retired, he took care, rehabilitating from the surgeries. Could have returned to baseball with urgency. Started in institutional investing in 1985. That's very interesting. He's got 2 daughters, Claire and Liv B. Still maintains his ties with the Phillies. Do the work on behalf of the charities. That's Mr. Christensen Larry. I never heard of him before, but serve up a little one like running 4 bases around. Call him the baseball pitcher. There we go, finished. Just look at his picture. Look at him there. Look how innocent and fresh-faced he looked. He's like a young me, just looking off to the side like, yeah, I'm going to throw some baseballs at baseball bats. There we go.
That was a tricky one.
Well, it is, because I know nothing about baseball. And also, it was quite a while before I actually zoomed in on my screen to be like, oh yeah, I can just read stuff about him. I hope Nat enjoyed the gay cow rap. I enjoyed doing that.
That was awesome. And our backstage crew for the showcase, they love it too. So that's awesome. Hooray.
Oh, I see that in the private chat, going wild backstage. That's what we like. That's what we like. I did a gig today in Amsterdam where they were all in person and I was virtual. And so I couldn't hear any applause. And I was like, well, I'm assuming they're applauding, but also they are Dutch. So they could just be there going, yeah, this is very funny. Yeah, Dutch people don't tend to laugh that much. That's why I never gig in Pennsylvania.
Well, I know, Rob, I think that's general consensus. It's always amazing. You never know what you're going to get, but it's always good.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, Nat, for giving the suggestion. Thank you, Rob, for watching and going, I'm not going to give a suggestion because I fear for the quality of this. So I appreciate you enjoying it. And also, I do gig in Pennsylvania. Anyone who's in Pennsylvania looking for entertainment, that was
it's true.
A glib joke. And I saw Melissa be like, Chris, don't turn down Pennsylvania shows. Exactly.
We love Pennsylvania.
I actually have a huge interest in the barns and the barn art of the Pennsylvania Dutch. They have what are called hex patterns that they paint on the end of their barns to keep evil spirits away. And that's because I'm an anthropologist by trade, and I find weird things like that interesting.
I love it. You never cease to amaze me, Chris. I'm always impressed with how much knowledge can be packed into that brain of yours.
Oh, well, that's very kind. Thank you very much.
And I'm so excited to get you on the road. I know we started working together right before the pandemic, but we didn't really start getting shows together until the virtual shows kicked in, and then we had to kind of stay home. So I'm excited to have you traveling for Rebelle.
Me too. I'm very excited.
Fall.
Just, it's lovely to live in New York, but it's even nicer to get a weekend off to go and fly to some far-flung state that I've never even heard of before.
I also need to say, and I would be a terrible agent if I did not, but I have never booked a show for you that has not received feedback that, like, oh my gosh, that was the most amazing. Our whole audience was blown away. We loved that it was custom. We loved that everybody was involved, right? Like to sit down in your show and just observe, you can do that, but it's even more fun when you're all in and digging in, and you do a great job at getting people.
Well, that's very nice. Yeah. Oh, that's, I've been doing it live for 12 years, and it was a reasonably kind of simple switch to get it going digitally, virtually, all that stuff as well. And yeah, usually the shows are done from my studio in Brooklyn rather than this hasty setup here in my mother's office. She's probably standing outside the door being like, when do I get my desk back?
Welcome home.
Thank you. And Rob is in Pennsylvania. Oh dear. Oh dear. I'm gonna get absolutely roasted for that one. Sorry, Rob.
He'll make it up to you, Rob. I promise.
I do. I promise. I promise.
Well, with that, thank you so much for joining us, Chris. Everyone, follow him. His handle noted there. And thank you for joining us. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much. I'll speak to you all soon. Fare thee well.
Bye, Chris. So that wraps up another day of our summer showcase for this week. I'm very, very excited to have you join us. If you have questions, feel free to shoot me an email at the address noted on the screen. If you're watching the recording, you can also just use the chat box on the website and you'll get a quick answer that way. So thank you for joining us. And again, let me know what questions I can answer for you. Please keep in mind, this is just a snack. We have so many more wonderful comedians. If you're looking for anything in particular with regards to style or content, that sort of thing, please let me know. We have some wonderful, wonderful comedians, some who you will still hear from this week. Others, you can see their videos on our website. And for tomorrow, we hope you'll join us again, same place. You'll be able to see some magic, some mind reading, hypnosis, all good things. And you'll be able to see that live here tomorrow. So with that, have a lovely afternoon. And I'm so glad that you chose to spend it with us. See you tomorrow.